I've drawn up a pattern for the hand. Because this is a female hand, it's going to be smaller than this one. So what I've done is I've taken all the knuckle sizes and the finger joint sizes down by 1mm. So that one is going to be 11mm. So the 10mm is not going to be used now. So that's 11, a 12 and a 13. And then these are 14s at the bottom, then 13 and a 12. So I've cut 3, so I'm going to do this finger here, the long middle finger. That's going to be the measurements. I need to lay it all out because drilling the holes the right way and the right side makes things a little bit complicated, so you've got to get everything right. That's the blank. I'm going to keep the wood in the same strip on the same side for the top, and so that's going to be the top. The grain runs, well, it planes that way on the top, so I've marked that. This is going to make it easier for me to carve the fingernail, so I can carve it from this side. So I'll cut that into 3, mark the centres, turn them down on the lathe so they're just cylindrical, and then I can put them in the chuck. This one is going to be the tip of the finger, so it only needs a hole drilling in one end, and that's the joint, the finger joint, so that'll go in like that, and it needs to be buried halfway. So I've turned up some brass discs that go from 16mm down to 10mm. I'm not using the 10 anymore. That's the 11, which is the size of that ball. So I'll hollow this out with a scraper until that fits halfway. This one's actually 12mm, not 11. It's the little finger that's 11. So I've had to open this out a little bit more, and that pushes in halfway now. That's fine. This is the middle section of the finger, so I can drill this straight through with the 8mm. So I've opened that up, so that fits in halfway as well. So the other one should fit on top of that. That's fine. So I'll turn this round and turn the other end. Cut it down to length turn that one in, put the other one in, and then go on to the next section. So this one is 13mm, and that's my 13. This is the last piece of the finger, which is the longest bit there. This one is drilled with a 10mm drill, because that spigot's 10mm. All the others have been 8mm so far. I can only drill halfway through because the other side is going to be 8mm, so that will be drilled 3/4 of an inch, which is what, about 19mm. Get all those to line up. Take that one out. That goes on the spigot. These need to be turned to the right diameter. So that is 16.5, 15.5 and 14.5. So that's all the turning done for that finger. They look okay. So the next thing to do will be cut that down to length, carve the end of the finger, the fingernail, cut the 45s where the joins are, so that the finger will bend, and that'll be one finger done. I've managed to make up enough fingers and a thumb to do one hand. I've run out of material, so I've got to machine up a load more beech to make more joints. So these are now ready to be carved. This is the middle finger, so I'm going to carve the nail in the end of the finger. So that's the length of the finger itself, so that needs to go. And that's the nail, which overhangs by about 1/8 of an inch. That's the centre line, that's the edge of the nail. So I've got hold of some artificial nails, so I can use them as a template. So I can just pop that on and draw around it to get the shape. It's a bit easier than just drawing it freehand. So I've turned the end of this piece of pine to grip it. So I've finished carving the nails for the fingers and thumb for one hand, and now I have to cut the backs. I've started with that one, so I need to cut 45 degrees on each of the joints. So I'll measure the diameter, about 16mm, half that is 8mm. Measure that down. So the centre is there, and the halfway marks are there, and there. I need to cut off that corner. That's those done. I've got to do another set for the other hand, obviously. So the next thing will be to make the hand itself. That finger, the little finger, is still a bit too long, but I can't cut it down any shorter because that has to go halfway in. I can't cut that any shorter, so that is the length it has to be. So unfortunately it's going to be a little bit longer than it should be. I can set it back into the hand a little bit more, but it's still going to be past that knuckle joint there, that finger joint. So they'll sit like that, and the thumb will go down here somewhere.